work today. Whoa! Whoa! Snow day. You know what that means? I get to stay home and play Shin Megami Tensei IV Apocalypse. What's up? Good morning. There are multiple jokes going on here. Some incidental, some accidental. I meant to hold the case upright. That didn't happen. But this is Shin Megami Tensei IV Apocalypse. And the joke is that, well, it's not snowing out anymore, but it was yesterday. And this is a very lengthy RPG. Perfect to commit to when you have no responsibilities. AKA no life. AKA me. So, haha. Wah, wah, wah. I have no life. That's okay, because I have great games to play. And one of them is SMT4 Apocalypse. The first thing I think you have to ask yourself, though, is what is this game? Shin Megami Tensei, yes. 4? No. 5? Also no. So, 4 Apocalypse? This is like a part 2 to the original Shin Megami Tensei IV. That's a game that I enjoyed. It was one of the first big RPGs on the 3DS. And I had a number of issues with it, but I also really liked it. It was my first time playing a Shin Megami Tensei game, and it grew on me, and eventually just dubbed me in the face by not letting me pick the ending that I wanted, even though it gives you that option. And so I swore I wouldn't play these again. But I am nostalgic for the original, so I ended up getting Apocalypse. And I've got a lot of feelings about it. This is my most... How would I describe this? This is the game that I put the most amount of time into in any one sitting. So when I go to my 3DS playlog, this tops the charts. And that says something. This is the kind of game that is just grossly addicting, that once you get the hang of it, you just don't want to stop. Because it lets you do so much. It really gives you so much freedom. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to talk about the major reason this exists. Why is there a part 2? Because the original SMT4 was finished. It was a great game. You ended up choosing between the angels or the demons, and if you picked the third route, you just got screwed. This is that third route. This is its entirely own game. But you still have a chance to diverge on your path. So, whereas the previous game was more about black and white, it was about chaos and order. It was about, will you let the world be structured under a system of containment, or will you let it run free under chaos? This game is about that times 10. So rather than just being concerned with your own welfare and that of a god, you now control the fate of humanity and the gods. while still being manipulated by one particular god.
Akira, I want to protect them all, no matter the cost. If that time comes.
No matter how many times you would be forced to die and reincarnate?
Humanity won't be saved by gods or by demons. Let's go, Akira. I'm counting on you. Akira.
So, there's a lot more gravity to this game. The decisions you make carry a lot of weight. You are responsible for dictating the path that the universe follows and the laws of the universe. Will humans always be subjects of the gods? Will gods always be the subject of one creator god? You are a personal god slayer. And that's because you are resurrected. You die in the very beginning of the game. It's a lovely experience. I suggest you try it sometime. No, I don't. But you basically have an obligation to fill. Because one god is watching out for you. And he has a vision. So as far as story goes, this game is enough to pull you in. What it has from there is just grossly addicting. So, I guess you can't talk about Shin Megami Tensei without talking about a few things. Demons, and demon fusion, and the choice system. All the demons that you remember from the original SMT4 are here, plus some. They all have similar, if not the same, strengths and weaknesses. And a lot of the abilities are the same. You have the same kind of skill tree with some new skills attached. And I feel like a lot of the game was made a little bit more accessible for players. Not necessarily new players, but just to make easier some processes that were just a pain. Like scouting demons, which is the way you recruit them. You literally bargain with them. It's a little easier in this game. There are some abilities to help you out, and in general, the demands of the demons are not so bad. Even if you, don't pick the perfect ones the first time, sometimes the demon will see you the next time and just automatically jump on your bandwagon. Also, if you already owned a demon and you talk to them again, it's almost a guarantee that they're going to join you. So I felt that was a nice addition. It did help me out. It just saved some time. And it let me kind of go on my quest to try and get as many demons as possible and make the ultimate demons. That would be a cool 100% completion quest. Not to say I think everyone should do it, but hey, it would be a noble cause. Or a worthy cause, I don't know. Demon fusion works just as well as it did in the previous game. Literally pick two demons and try and make something new. There are cool ways of filtering it so you can see what new demons you can create. And I like this idea that it's not just about capturing demons. It's about using them properly. And the choice system. So even within a demon bargaining, you pick what you think is the best response to try and get them on your side. They'll ask you some series of questions and you respond some way. Maybe they don't even ask a question. Maybe they just beckon you. Are you going to come near? Are you going to walk away? What are you going to do? So that's up for you to decide. You don't really know demon personalities until you fight them, until you scout with them, but it's always something to keep you on your toes and what am I going to pick? But in general, the choice system is not as grave as it was in the original SMT4. In that game, it used to be that... Oh, who was this? Oh, that's just a bot. Okay, never mind. was worried I was talking too loud. In the original SMT4, I told you I got dubbed, right? So I wanted to pick the path of chaos, and the game wouldn't let me. I literally tried to pick it, and it said no. This game, it's more spur of the moment. Like, in the blink of an eye, your entire path can change. Not that every decision matters. It doesn't. It's only those, like, 5 or so that happen, like, towards the latter half of the game. I'm not entirely sure on that, because there are a few moments early in the game, but if I knew, like, every cavity to this game, like, then I'd be coming back and doing a different kind of video. I just like that the game wants you to play it as you want to play it. And it's not a feeling I got the first time I played SMT4. There's a lot of changes like that that I received well. I like little technical changes. I like the addition of skills. I like the party system. I like the fact that light and dark attacks now do damage as opposed to being one-hit kills every so often. Quests, I like that quests are auto-assigned and you don't have to like go pick them up and then like go deliver them later, except for like a few. There's a lot of small tweaks like that that I really appreciated. As far as recommending a game between SMT4 and SMT4 Apocalypse, I feel like this experience is richer if you played the first game. Not the first Shin Megami Tensei, that's something else. The first SMT4. Because you're going to know a lot of the classic characters, like that return here, like Navarre or Flynn, and they're not returning in the way that you remember them. It's a little bit different. Characters like Merkaba or what's the other one? Lucifer, duh. They're a bit of a contrast there, but I like that they come back and they're a major part of this story. And there are a ton of throwbacks in SMT4 Apocalypse that make it so worth playing for someone who enjoyed the original. For a new time player, I feel like the changes are made so that they're accessible enough, you know, so that if you wanted to jump in and just play this game, you probably could. I don't think it would be a problem. Now, does this game deserve to exist? I guess is the question, because it is like a part 2, right? And it's not even like its own SMT game, although it probably could be. I think this is well justified. The original SMT4 was one of the best-selling games on the 3DS. If you look at the eShop ratings, I think there's like over 10,000 or 100,000 like in the 5-star rating, or maybe not just that, but it like averages out to that. That game was insanely popular. It's a bit of a shame that this is coming out so late in the 3DS library, but hey, I'm happy with it. I bought it at retail, not the day of, but I bought it for retail price in a store, and I was happy to support it. I love that Atlus logo. Gotta represent for those RPG players out there. Also my 3DS, you know, life and library. So I enjoyed that. And I feel like they take a lot of new, interesting, not necessarily risks, but paths, so to speak, since you're taking your own path. The content is harsh. I mean, you know, you're talking about killing gods. But if you're up for something interesting like that and a great RPG all the while, you know, it's a cold world, but it's one worth plowing through. And that's how I go out. Thanks for watching, my fans, my friends, my fam. Majora T, just waking up to great RPGs. Time to play some more. But enjoy them thoroughly.
Hey.